Why the accountability partner really helped me is because if I break this contract, like something bad is going to happen to me. I gave my friend permission to like do something really like horrible to me. It will affect my public image. It will affect my reputation. Every time I'm placing a trade, I'm thinking like, okay, I don't want to break these rules because my friend is going to do this and this and that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another TFT podcast. Today, we have a special podcast because we have here the Lord of the Memes and our amazing community manager, Denis. Welcome, man.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's an amazing opportunity to be here with the Funded Trader. You know, we're here for the Forex Summit, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we're going to have great days here. So can you first tell us a little bit about yourself, so that the audience can know who is behind our Twitter, who is behind all the giveaways. And yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Denis Lichnuk. I was born in Ukraine in 1998. I moved to America in 2000 with my family. And I started working at the Funded Trader a year and 3 months ago.
Amazing. And how did you start with trading?
So as far as how I got into trading, I feel like COVID was the beginning, the origin of like many traders that I've come into contact with. When COVID hit, I was just graduating from a university in California, Riverside, the University of California, Riverside, short for UCR. And I took a class called International Finance. And that's when I was like really introduced to like the idea of like, okay, there's currencies and all these countries exchange the currencies and they have all of these reserves. And there's so many factors that go into, you know, why each specific country has its own like value of currency. So in that class, like I really had this like passion for learning about like this whole entire market that there is. And so that was like right at the end of my senior year of college. And right when COVID hit, like I was on my final semester. And so I graduated and, you know, I was looking for different positions, maybe like at a bank. I have a degree in finance, a bachelor's. But with COVID, like all of the opportunities that I had, like they seemingly vanished. Like all the internships, like any kind of position that I might have been able to get with this newfound degree, they were just completely taken away from me. And towards the end of the year, 2020, so like November, that's when I really like started getting into trading. I found some, as they call them, Forex gurus.
Yeah.
A shout out to Mamba FX. That was my first like mentor. You know, I joined the mentorship, and then we had like a mutiny. There was like so many different traders that were like, they were unhappy with like the signals being sent, because everyone has ran into this at one point where you buy some signals and then these signals have they have a 90% win rate, but like the take profit is like 5 pips. You know, so like, yeah, good job, you know, you gained 5 pips, but the stop loss is like 60 pips. And the risk to reward is like so bad. And so there were so many traders in that mentorship that were just annoyed, and we had like a revolt. A huge chunk of us just like left and formed our own group. And that was called Pirates FX. So a bunch of friends and I, like we formed this mentorship, and the teacher that we had in there, his name is Brian, and he taught us basically everything we needed to know, like about psychology and the markets. And everyone has kind of been going at their own pace when it comes to like reaching our true goals with trading, like being successful and profitable. So that's actually how I even found this job or got to TFT is through this new mentorship or group, Pirates FX.
So how did you get into TFT? How did you get the position?
Yeah, so how I got into TFT is actually really interesting because recently we had Adam, the head of growth. He worked at TFT and he actually came from Pirates FX, like our little mentorship. He got the job first, and then a few months later, they were looking for like an assistant, a community manager. And so he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I think you would be a really good fit for this role. Like, I want you to apply and get interviewed.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, okay, that sounds amazing. Like, work from home, have a stable pay. And I applied and I was interviewed by Adam and Matthew, the COO.
Yeah.
So I made a really good first impression. Matt really liked my, mindset and my overall like worldview. And, I got hired on March 23rd, 2022. So as you can see, we're still here, rocking TFT till the day I die. So yeah, that's how I got in. And, ever since then, I've just been doing many different things for TFT.
Yeah. Did you start with the same position like you have now, or you started like with smaller tasks and then you've been building yourself up?
Yeah. So no, at first I was just doing whatever like they needed me to. Some Instagram posts to store Storito, which like is a scheduling platform. It schedules the stories one by one, and then just managing the Discord, like talking with people, answering questions, making sure I know what I'm talking about instead of telling one of the traders, oh, you can risk 10%, and then they lose their account and they go complaining to the support. So no, I started off doing all of those things, and eventually I got my full-time position, I believe like August 8th of 2022. So that's when I like became a full-time employee, and like my tasks sort of grew into all of Twitter, managing all of Twitter, posting everything on there, and just really interacting with the Discord. Obviously, all the giveaways that I do. Shout out to all the people battling and trying to get an account. Have hope, because I know one day you'll win. I'm really fair. I really try to make it all random and just, I'm not picking just random people. I'm trying to actually make it all fair and just choose a name out of a hat, so to speak.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the mindset you have about growing our Twitter channel? And how you're choosing the people that are winning the giveaways. Tell us a little bit about your current position and the things that you're managing.
Yeah, so currently there's like a whole strategy of like what I'm supposed to fulfill every day for Twitter. There's like a set number of tasks and certain things. Like each certain day has a certain post that is supposed to go out, and Fridays is the day where I post the meme of the week. So like that, I feel like that brings me like the most joy. And like I see the interactions with everyone. Like when I post it, people are like messaging me like, oh, this made my day. Like I'm so happy. And, by doing that and all these different posts that I make, like, especially I love when someone achieves something like very great, like their first funded, their first payout, their first anything. I try to like give them a shout out, like on the Twitter. I quote tweet and I just write some very elaborate, story of what comes to my head, just to make them understand that everyone around them sees what they've done and that they should be proud of their achievement. So that's probably the two best things that I love about managing the Twitter. And like you said about the giveaways, so we have this format that we pretty much go by where people either retweet or like, and then they leave a reply. And by the replies, then I'm like counting how many people actually follow the rules. Like, you like this, you retweeted, and then they all go into this program called Twitter Picker. And then I just run it, and I make sure that everyone who has won has actually fulfilled all the tasks for the giveaway.
Yeah.
And then I verify, like, okay, I verify their name and make sure that they're going to get the account, because a lot of people seemingly want to try to scam away an account. Like, someone else won, but then they reach out to support and say like, oh, this is me. And
Wow.
I'm like, no, that's the real person. So yeah.
You're doing a great job. Can you tell us a little bit about the creativeness behind the memes? Because you're definitely the lord of the memes. So can you tell us where this all come from?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, where it all comes from is just, I give glory to God, the personality that he gave me. And like, ever since I was a kid, I really enjoyed making everyone laugh. And like, I feel like I come up with like different ideas like very quickly.
Yeah.
And so like, whenever I see something or like any kind of association to trading, like instantly in my head, I'm thinking like, how could I make this into a meme? Or like, how could I make this funny for everyone else to enjoy? So like, for example, like I just recently saw this video of just two random dudes pushing a rock down a cliff. And then instantly I'm like thinking of like the market melting, and it's like filling your positions. And then finally you take profit, and like the rock rolls down the hill and it hits a tree. And the tree gets like snapped in half. And it's like such a, it's like a satisfying video. And the title is like, dudes just being dudes. Like, that's just what guys do. They just like destroy things and push rocks over. And so that's sort of like the process that I go through whenever I see like any type of funny video like that's trending. I really try to like associate that to
with
specifically trading. And then I go into like editing, trying to make it like actually presentable, and it usually turns out pretty funny. So
yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the mindset and the psychology with trading and with the position that you have?
Yeah, so psychology for me is like understanding the journey that you're on. You can't like put yourself down just because everyone around you is like finding success. Like for me personally, in this whole Pirates mentorship and like all these new friends that I've made from that, like a lot of them have really found some like real success. Like they're making really good money, and I'm really happy for them. But I'm not gonna put myself down just because I'm not there yet. So like I understand the journey that I'm on, and even though it's been a huge roller coaster up and down, funded, breached, and so I just understand that as long as I don't give up, the losses that I'm facing, the time I'm putting in, that's all going to, come to fruition eventually. All these things that I've been grinding towards, they're going to form this gemstone, this perfect piece that I can wear and, show off like that I'm funded and I'm proud and I'm happy, and, I achieved the goal that I set out. So,
yeah. You're always like positive and happy, and you spread so much positive energy. Like, how do you deal with the time when you're feeling like down, and when you have like a losing streak, when you lose a funded account, or how do you deal in such situations? Because I can't imagine you like being sad and,
yeah. So I mean, I definitely feel like I'm always happy, and just like the Bible says, it says rejoice always. And I really try to live by that. Like I always live each day rejoicing, because you could just not wake up one day, like you have to be thankful for every day and just be happy in everything. Because I always think about those people that are living in a much worse situation than I am, like no food, no shelter, no water. But then what you have everything you need. And then we find ourselves complaining or just getting angry about just such inconsequential things. Like we need to focus on what really matters in life. And, being happy really helps me like battle through these emotions. Like, of course, with trading, you're gonna find yourself in situations where you're in deep drawdown, or you've lost a bunch in a row. All you need to remember is that those things are going to happen no matter what. Like, you have to understand that there's losses in the market. Like, going into a trade, I'm gonna win. You can't have that mindset. You have to understand, I'm entering a trade and I have to be happy with this loss or win. Like, you just have to be neutral pretty much. And over these 2.5 years that I've been like learning and practicing, like more recently, I've like found myself in trading. They always say, like, if you want to understand more about yourself, like, start trading. Because it's such a journey of self-discovery. You see your emotions, when a problem comes into play, when all of these things come crashing down, literally the market's crashing down on you and you're negative and you have a few days left. There's so many situations that come up, but as long as you're trying your best, like following a plan, being disciplined, being on the grind, learning everything you can, there's so much information out there to learn. And those type of losses, like, as long as you're not facing with huge losses, like, you can manage. You can have small losses.
If you have a good risk management.
Exactly. Like, small losses, small wins, or big wins. Like, that's all you need. If you keep taking big losses, then your accounts are just gonna vanish, So those are the 4 things. You only need to focus on 3 of them: small losses, small wins, or big wins.
And what are the things that you struggle with the most, like in the whole trading journey? And what are the failures that you cherish the most?
So in trading, the things that I've struggled with the most is pretty much the different lot sizes that you're able to use on various accounts. Like, let's say you have a $100,000 account, a challenge, you can enter a 10 lot. And that's going to net you, like, for every 10 pips, that's 1,000, like, right away. But doing that, you're putting yourself up for such a huge risk in the market. Anything can happen, any kind of slippage, any kind of news, anything that can negatively affect the situation. You have to be ready for that. Like, I always struggle with that. And how I overcame that is actually like a newfound idea that I just started following. Having a trader agreement, like with someone that you know, or like one of your friends.
Accountability partner.
Accountability partner, like, because when it comes down to it, when you're trading, it's you versus the market. And like, you're saying, oh, the market's so evil or mean, or like, I'm so unlucky. But you press the trade, you entered how many lots you want to put, how many stop loss, take profit. You're the one in control. You can't forget
blame
that
the
fact.
Market for that.
You can't blame it's your decision. And so why the accountability partner really helped me in my journey is because as soon as I have a very concrete, like, if I break this contract, like something bad is going to happen to me. I don't want to really share what it is. Basically, if I breach the contract, I gave my friend permission to like do something really like horrible to me that like I will like, it will affect my public image. It will affect my reputation. So like every time I'm placing a trade, I'm thinking like, okay, I don't want to break these rules because my friend is going to do this and this and that. So like anyone that's really struggling with any type of like over leveraging or over risking, try this method out. I'm telling you guys, it will 100% change how you view the situation, because your emotions sometimes can get a hold of you in the market. Greed, especially greed. As soon as you see a good trade, 110 lot and you made 3,000, I'm gonna, full margin the next one. But when you have this partner that's making you accountable for every single decision, that's when you really like find discipline. Like that discipline, that's the only way to like really build discipline if you don't have enough self-willpower, which
Yeah, I totally agree with you because I have an accountability partner as well, and I noticed how much my game changed. Like when we started, we don't have such a strict agreement, but it's really helpful. But during the periods when you're going through a drawdown and also for like being disciplined and sticking to your plan. What are the things that you mentioned about the trading that it's self-discovery? What are the things that you discovered about yourself that you weren't aware before you started with trading?
The things that I discovered about myself is that like patience is like something that you really have to work on because we want everything now. We don't want to wait for this delayed gratification. Like with everything in life, like if you're working for something, it's better to just have it right now.
Yeah.
Like cooking, you want to have something or someone else makes it for you and you eat it. You want to go to your job and earn money, or would you rather just wake up and there's a bag of money on the table? Like delayed gratification, that type of patience, I understand now through all this journey that being patient is actually much more satisfying when you accomplish a goal. Like you feel such a complete sense of satisfaction inside, like getting funded, getting your first payout, like these types of achievements, they let you understand like that the journey doesn't just end with the first payout. It's like just the beginning. There's so much room to grow and so much to learn.
What was the most memorable trading moment that you have had?
Yeah, so actually there's two that I'd like to definitely share. The first is when I first got my first funded account, my very first 200K. That was one of the best moments of my life. Like seriously, I remember the exact moment. I was in this gold trade and like I was in such a good position and it just started melting. And I'm like, if it goes down here, I'm gonna get funded. Like right, like I set up the alert and I changed the description. Like you just got funded.
Wow.
And then like it's hitting and then, you know, the trading view alert, it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's like this very distinct beat or melody or whatever.
Wow.
And so right as that thing hits, I'm instantly like yelling. It's like 4 a.m. or something.
Wow. You woke up everyone?
Yeah, that's back then when I traded the London session. So I woke up everyone, but the first moments, like right away, I turn around and like I just get on my knees. I'm like, God, thank you. This has been such a journey. I was like tearing up, crying.
Wow.
I went, my parents and my brother are sleeping. I'm like, like I jump on my brother's bed. Like, I'm like, I'm funded. I wake up my parents and like that moment, like that really made me feel like, okay, like I can, you know, do this.
Yeah.
And the most recent, like very memorable moment was getting my first ever payout, because that was my first funded, but that doesn't mean I got an actual payout.
Yeah.
So most recently I got funded with our arch nemesis, my funded FX. And it's nothing crazy. It's only a 5K account, but like everyone knows, whatever account size you have, like you can start at a small level. Like getting that 200K, you know, maybe I wasn't ready at that point.
Yeah. But
getting this 5K funded and getting my first ever payout, like it's literally real. Like it came to my bank account and everything. So I was very happy. And even more so now, I'm like very hopeful, and you know, I see my dreams coming into reality. Working on a new 200K, which is going very well, and I'm hoping to, you know, expand and hopefully reach max allocation soon.
Yeah. How was the feeling to see the first payout? Like, what was the payout that you had?
So basically, on the 5K account, I took this gold trade and it literally netted me like over like $70. So like, I mean, over 1%.
Yeah.
And so I withdrew 50. They gave me a refund of 30 because I got it for 50% off. And so that $80, I'm just thinking to myself, like, that's 80 real bucks that just went right to my bank. And like, I'm just so happy like that it's possible.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for the prop firm space and everyone just giving us this opportunity, because I know that as soon as I scale up, like opportunity is endless. Like you
Yeah.
can just keep on going, expanding. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got funded, and the first payout, what it means to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as soon as you see that you can make it, once, then you know that you're gonna make it many times.
Definitely. I'm very, very hopeful. And, God willing, I'll be a 7-figure trader one day.
What are your plans forward with trading and in general and with TFT as well?
Yeah. So, I mean, with TFT, definitely, I love working here, meeting all of our cool employees, and just being here in Miami, for the Forex Summit. I'm really thankful for this opportunity. Meeting Angelo for the first time. I mean, we literally ran a mile together. Like, it was an amazing experience. But as far as like my future goals with trading, I'm really focusing on getting a big funded account, because I understand the potential that has to like really change my life. Like, I understand that any type of payout that's over like 4 or 5 figures, like that's going to completely change like the trajectory of my life. Instead of like going at a slow grind to the top, like it can actually give me like a complete boost into the stars.
Yeah.
So like I'm really working on getting a funded account, and then eventually getting like max allocation in one firm, another firm. And once you get to that like 7-figure funded, that's when you can like completely just go chill. You just, if you have enough for life and to help your friends and family. And I have a lot of goals and dreams when it comes to like ministry. I really, in my perspective, like if I have enough for myself, like to eat and to like I have a house, and like how much do you really need to live each month? That's basically how I think about it. Like maybe the maximum, like 10,000, like that's when I'm already making this or that amount of money from like a 7-figure account, for example, like how much do I really need to like live a really comfortable and good life? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know that number now, but I always thought about that, and like all the rest of this money that I can and maybe possibly will eventually get, I would definitely rather see that being used to like help others get food or shelter or whatever. I have all of these aspirations, so that's really pushing me towards my goal to share God's glory.
That's amazing. What would you done different? Like if you're about to start the journey again now, like what are the things that you wish you've done different?
Yeah. So as far as like if I could just go back in time and start different, there's definitely a lot of things I would change, because you can make so many mistakes when you don't really have like someone that's just guiding you.
Yeah.
But so like a lot of my friends are just starting to learn, like my brother and some of my youth members, they're just starting to learn. And like now that I'm like, I found at least a little bit of success, like with my strategy and just being funded and receiving my first payout, like I'm trying to guide them in a different way, like right away, starting the accountability, like learning the proper risk, like what even is the market? Like you can't be like, you gave the example of another trader not knowing anything, and then okay, you get lucky and you made a few thousand or whatever, but like, do you actually understand like the fundamentals of the market? And so like learning all of those things in the beginning, reading a few of the books that are important, trading in the zone, all of the different like fundamental analysis ideas, like why the market moves up and down. Like I mentioned, like that course that I took in college, like that really helped me, like, okay, there's a whole world, and not just like your little buttons
to understand the macroeconomics.
Yes, like not just a little button sell or buy. Like when you press that, you're not doing anything to the market. Like there's such huge factors in play. Like the whole world is like ebbing and flowing. And so all of these things put together, I feel like anyone that I've been helping like learn, I feel like they're on a much better path than I was when I started. Like my brother and my one of my other friends, Mark, he has been starting learning, and he's already at such a higher level than I was. Like he's only been learning a few months, and he already knows like so many concepts, so many different ideas about risk management. So now all that it comes down to is getting a live account, like any type of personal, because when you trade the live markets, that's when you can practice your psychology.
Yeah.
Because if you keep trading demo, you're never gonna like understand what it feels like to lose, like even $1. Like when you lose, you're like, oh, like that hurts inside, you know?
Yeah.
And so like when you have a real account, whether it be a challenge, whether it be a little $50, $100 account, when you start to lose or make a little profit, like you're practicing your emotions, and that's how you just grow into this completely chill, just I'm ready to conquer.
Yeah. I usually say like trading on a demo account is the same like learning how to swim with puffs. Like if you take them off, you take them off and you just drink in the water. That's how it is.
Like lay on the table
from
and
going
just,
from demo account to
just flap your arms. And you don't know how to swim.
Exactly.
Unless you're literally drowning and then you're trying to get back up.
Yeah. That's how it is. Do you have a daily routine that you're sticking to in order to like maintain a stable psychology? And can you share the daily routine if you have one?
I wouldn't really say I have like a specific routine. You know, when I get up, it's already time for work. So I start with TFT. I complete all the tasks, and throughout the day, if there comes time for a setup, like the psychology has already been ingrained. Like I'm not really sure. Like I'm a very simple guy. I don't drink any of the coffees, or I don't need any of these extra things. Like when it comes to specifically trading. So as far as a routine, I mean, wake up, pray to God that I'm alive, and then start working. Or trading.
Yeah. Do you have like any like habits, healthy habits that you're sticking to, like physical exercise, maybe meditation, something like that?
I mean, yeah, of course, going to the gym, being healthy. I've recently been injured, so going to the gym has been a little bit of a struggle. But when I'm healthy, yeah, definitely sticking to the gym and sticking to the discipline, like 5 days a week, at least in the gym. That's going to help you maintain a good muscle and mind connection. And then, of course, reading Bible and all the different things outside of work or trading, like in church, singing, and those things help me feel specifically like peace inside my heart and soul. So like that helps me have a better and more free mind connection when I'm trading.
Any last words that you would like to share with us?
Yeah. So guys, thank you for listening into this podcast. It's been an honor. I'm so happy to have met Ana. We connected on TFT long ago when she first joined. She took over when I had to fill in for the interview. So
yeah, you've been my first support.
Yeah, so we had the first interview together. Yeah. Shout out to Key. Yeah, you are a legend, and just keep on keeping on. I love that phrase. Just keep on moving.
Yeah,
keep on going, and wherever you are in your journey, literally, if you just started today, if you just got your funded, or you're already destroying the markets like our good friends who are funded. So yeah, thank you all for watching.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us. It's been a pleasure to meet you and to hear all your story. And to all of you watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below. Trade safe, and until next time.